Hi, and welcome to this informational session about the upcoming certificate in grant writing course through Seattle Central. I'm here to tell you about the certificate program, and I hope I'll answer any questions you might have. But if I don't, my contact information is provided in this video's description, and I encourage you to call me or email me. My name is Allison Jones, and I am the instructor here at Seattle Central. I'm also an adjunct professor at Western Washington University and Evergreen College. And I have been writing grants since I graduated from college with my BA in psychology. My background is in social work, and one of my first jobs was working at a homeless shelter in Honolulu as a case manager. My supervisor enjoyed reading my case notes and asked me if I would take a stab at rewriting the policies and procedures for the organization. And then after that, he asked me if I would try writing grants, and that basically launched my career in grant writing. I believe that grant writing is one of the most fulfilling and rewarding jobs out there. I've raised millions of dollars in grants for issues that I care deeply about. I've worked as a nonprofit executive director, a development director, grants manager, and a freelance grant writer and consultant. And as a freelance grant writer, I found that I had way more requests for services than I possibly had time to do. So I started teaching grant writing with my first class at my local library. I fell in love with teaching and I went back to college. I got my master's degree in education with an emphasis on adult education. And I believe in using brain-based learning strategies, and so my classes are highly interactive and hands-on. I also review grants for several foundations and government entities, so I know what it's like to be on the other side of the table too, and I share that knowledge with my students. I've taught grant writing classes in many different formats, from one-hour workshops to weekend boot camps, and over the years, I found the very best format for teaching grant writing is an online course that is spaced out so that you have time to digest the information and actually write a real-life grant proposal. As you move through this course, you'll write a proposal step by step, section by section, and you'll get each section approved before turning in a new draft and beginning the next section. So by the end of the course, you'll have a complete grant proposal that is ready for your writing portfolio. And you should know that when organizations hire a grant writer, the main thing that they look for is excellent writing samples. So a stellar grant proposal in your portfolio is a must. You'll use information on the web to research your organization of choice, and then follow up that research by interviewing someone at the nonprofit to gain additional information for your proposal. If you already work for an organization, better yet, you are more than welcome to, and I highly encourage you to write a grant proposal for your employer. This certificate is a professional certification. It's not something that you put behind your name like a degree, but it is something that you would add to your resume and your LinkedIn profile. Think of it like a certificate in leadership or project management. These are skills that you can't specifically get a degree in, but are highly sought after. Adding certificate in grant writing offers you a clear and direct career boost from your studies. And so let's talk about the learning cohort format. This course occurs once quarterly. You can see the dates in the video description below, and there are 8 weekly video conferences where we dive into course topics using case-based and problem-based discussion formats. These are not lectures, these are interactive with your cameras on and full participation. To earn a certificate in grant writing, you must attend the 8 Zoom meetings. All of the sessions are recorded, so if you must miss one, you can watch it later and submit a written summary of the meeting for credit. And finally, to earn the certificate, you must write a complete grant proposal, logic model, and project budget. There are rubrics provided for each writing assignment in the course, meaning that you'll have a cheat sheet to how the assignment is assessed, and you must pass each assignment. You have as many attempts as you need to get your writing assignment accepted, and you will receive specific feedback. So there shouldn't be any reason that you don't earn the certificate unless you simply don't do the writing. Here is the calendar for the class, and as you can see, We meet on Tuesdays from 12 to 1 or 5 to 6, and that's in Pacific time. The first Zoom is the course introduction and orientation. The second Zoom will talk about using the logic model and learn how to write the organizational description. Week 3, we dive into the community needs statement section of your proposal, in which we conduct a literature review and cite articles that back up our case. Week 4, we learn about the project budget and we make the ask. Week 5 is dedicated to the project description. This is the work plan and the timeline for your project. Weeks 6 and 7 are all about evaluation, how we determine if our project is successful. And week 8, we cover ethics, all the documentation that gets submitted with the grant proposal, and how to build relationships with grant makers, a key element for success. And then you have one more week to put the final touches on your grant proposal. So let's talk about what it means to be a grant professional. Each year, the Grant Professionals Association conducts a survey that goes out to all types of grant writers across the country. And this information comes from grant writers' anonymous reports. And so we know that the average salary is about $77,000, ranging from $61,000 for the title grant writer to over $100,000 for consultants. Most grant writers report spending 41% of their time writing grants, 29% of their time managing grants, such as writing grant reports, and 30% on other administrative duties. Most grant writers write 21 grants per year, of which 65% are awarded. 79% of grant writers work full-time, 17% are consultants, and 5% are part-time. Grant writers are a variety of ages. 13% are early career, 40% are mid-career, and 47% are advanced career. 29% have a bachelor's degree, 51% have a master's degree, and 16% have a doctorate. 25% work at a nonprofit organization, 12% work for the government, 10% work at colleges and universities, and 6% work at or for K-12 schools. Finally, the majority of grant professionals do not have any professional certification, so it will really stand out that you have one. 12% of grant writers have a GPC, which means a Grant Professional Certified. 5% have a CFRE, which stands for Certified Fundraising Executive, and 8% have a certificate just like this one through a college program. So now I'd like to share with you some success stories. Almost every day I hear from former students about their successes. I love staying in touch with my students and becoming your lifelong cheerleader. These success stories highlight how having this certification is likely to propel your career significantly. This is Nancy. She took the certificate in grant writing course, and within a month of completing the course, she was promoted to a grants and communication specialist at Goodwill. Other students significantly increased the amount of grants awarded to their organizations, like Annie. After taking this course, she secured over $500,000 in grants within 1 year. Or Hope. Hope works for the Confederated Tribes of the Chehalis Reservation. Her department had never received funding before she took the course. And then within 12 months, her department received $274,000 in grants, 45% of her department's annual budget. So she gets to spend more time outside being a biologist, which is what she really loves to do. Others move on to their dream job, like Lee, who completed the course and was hired as the grant writing manager for the American Cancer Society. Grant writers are in high demand. Technical requirements for this course include access to a computer with word processing software such as Microsoft Word or Google Docs is just fine. Zoom video conference app, you need to only download a free account, but make sure that it's downloaded and updated. And then you'll need a webcam on your camera or on your smartphone or tablet with the Zoom app downloaded. And finally, I highly recommend using Grammarly. At a minimum, get the free account, but if you can, get a paid account. Grammarly is an online editing software, and it will improve your writing significantly. I'm very excited to work with you all, and I do hope you'll go ahead and register for the course. Our communities, especially rural communities, need grant writers right now, and this course will prepare you for those roles. If you have any questions about the course, or if you'd like to talk about your career goals to find out if this class is the best fit for you, please reach out. There are many grant writing classes available online. Whatever class you choose, I highly encourage you to choose a class in which you write a grant proposal and receive feedback on your writing. I don't believe you can learn to write grants without actually writing a grant proposal and finding out what you're doing right and what needs improvement. I hope to see you soon.